something very special for you today. I believe you're going to be able to take away something that is very timely, very useful for your life, your business, your ministry, your organization, your team, whatever it might be. Just a quick house cleaning tip here. Make sure to keep your audio muted. That helps everybody. And then at the end, we may have a few minutes left for some Q&A. But we'll also, if you have entered your email address, we will also send the recording out to some of you so you can review it or share it with some others that are in your sphere of influence that maybe you'd like to invite and share this content with them. But today we're talking specifically about proven strategies to increase productivity, improve efficiency, drive results for your organization. And I want to say right now, stay tuned to the very end because there's a special bonus offer that we're giving away just for attending today's webinar. All right. So, but you won't find out about it until the end. I learned that trick from other podcasters, so I'm just trying to, do it myself. But let me go ahead and jump. I'm going to share my screen with you and just kind of walk through the content today. Just a quick intro for myself. Many of you know me, some of you may not know me, but I've been on this leadership journey for many years now. It's kind of been my passion. I've kind of followed a role, kind of a bivocational role of both business and ministry for many, many years. Of course, on the education side, I have a Master of Organizational Leadership and Management, and then a doctorate degree in Strategic Leadership. And I'm a founding partner of the John Maxwell team. So many of you are familiar with that. Most recently, in the last few years, Lori and I have become franchisee owners of Leadership Management International. And through that, we're able to offer some of the very best resources in the world. And I say that very humbly, but also with a great amount of expectation and passion for what we do. Our mission, if you will, is to empower leaders and their teams with resources that lead to real world productivity, maximum productivity, performance, and for many of you, even profit, because if you can't find your pathway to profit, you'll go out of business, right? So we know that when leaders and their teams thrive, then success is inevitable. You'll never grow or build a successful and healthy organization or company without a commitment to continually build and grow yourself as a leader. There's that's just a part of the process. First of all, to build a productive team, you must, above all, know how to effectively lead yourself. You're the first level of leadership. Sometimes we talk about the law of the lid. And many times when we look at an organization from the outside, look at it truthfully and objectively, many times the leader is the lid to the organization. It's not even the people that they have. So you have to be able to lead yourself well and be personally productive, because teams always follow the example. They always gravitate toward the qualities of the leader. As John Maxwell famously stated, everything rises and falls on the basis of leadership. And I've been at this long enough to know that not just mentally, but experientially. Everything rises and falls on the basis of leadership. And that's why we've launched, in 2025, we launched a brand new Master of Executive Leadership degree program. It's very unique. It's a competency-based program as opposed to a traditional education platform. It is one of the most dynamic opportunities that we've ever offered for growing both your personal and organizational leadership abilities. It's a three-way partnership between Christian Life School of Theology Global as the educational covering, Leadership Management International, using their resources that have been in the professional development space for over 60 years. And of course, Langley Leadership Group that participates as the facilitator of the program. So We'll talk a little bit more about that as we go along. But let's jump into this webinar content because I know this is what you've come here today for. And I'm going to give you 3 specific strategies for building a productive team, multiplying output and margin in your life. Number 1, this cannot be overlooked, and this is the specific skills training and development for your industry. Now, this is where a lot of vocational learning comes into play. For example, if I need an accountant, you can be the most amazing person. We can be tremendous friends. We can have a wonderful relationship. You can be loyal and faithful. You can love our mission. But if you don't know how to crunch numbers, if you don't know how to spit out the information and data, financial data that we need, then you're not going to be able to function in a productive way on our team. So you go to school to learn how to be a CPA or to get a business degree. So then you bring that skill to the team that you join. So I think everybody understands that. If you're a dentist, you need to know how to fill teeth. If you're a plumber, you need to know how to do plumbing. Whatever it may be. This is the specific skills to your genre of influence, right? And this is where actually competency-based learning programs are on the rise. There's been a real shift in the employment world as a whole, as a lot of companies now are looking for skills and application as opposed to traditional just degrees. Well, this person has a degree on the wall. Yeah, but have they actually applied this? Have they actually done anything with this? So that's another reason why we're excited about our new Master of Executive Leadership degree program, because as a competency-based program, it's not about taking tests and reading books and writing papers. It's about walking through the process, the application, and advancing forward on the basis of mastery, as opposed to being able to just read a book and take a test or write a paper. But we can't overlook the fact that you can't be successful. You will not be successful if you don't study and learn the specific skills and get the training necessary to be good in your industry. I think that makes a lot of sense. We don't have to spend a lot of time on that. But if you're a leader, it's important then that you find ways to invest in the people on your team, help them grow in the specific skills necessary to do the work that you have asked them to do. All right. The second strategy here specifically is proven leadership. You have to have a proven leadership development process. In other words, using specific, proven, and a measurable process that leads to changed habits and behaviors. You know, seminars and conferences, we've all been there. I've been to more seminars and conferences than I can ever remember. I'm not going to say that they're not good. They are good. They are beneficial. Oftentimes, though, what they are is inspirational. They are overloaded. You get overwhelmed. Have you ever been to a conference where you just sat, you were so excited to be there and you had your notes and you took the first page of notes and then it was like drinking water out of a fire hose and you just closed your notebook set and said, you know what, I'll get the recordings later. I'll go back over it later. It's just because you get saturated so quickly and you probably come away with a lot of inspiration. And maybe you pick up a tip here or an idea or a thought there. So seminars and conferences are beneficial, but they're not as productive as we think. Because what happens is it doesn't lead to change behaviors. All right. And we are preconditioned over many, many, many years and through different cultures and systems, we get conditioned to think certain ways, to do things certain ways. And that conditioning is what we fall back to often. Kind of like a rubber band. You stretch that rubber band, but when you let go, you just snaps right back to where it was before, right? So the Master of Executive Leadership degree program is a competency-based program where we are all about changed behaviors. So in some ways it's not hard, but in other ways it's more difficult than traditional education because you can't continue to do what you've always done or you'll always get what you've always got. You've heard that old adage before too. Leaders, you're the bridge between a great vision and execution. Leaders are the bridge between a great vision and real execution. And when you're equipped to lead well, everything changes. That's why, as a leader, you've got to continually invest in your personal growth and development as a leader. Ideally, you take your entire team through something like the Master of Executive Leadership degree program. Our first module is called Effective Personal Productivity. And that's all about, it really is the foundation of it all, personal productivity. Paul J. Meyer, who founded Leadership Management International, said a work environment that encourages learning is essential for continuous productivity, improvement, and peak performance. So increasing the productivity of yourself and the individuals in your group automatically enhances their ability to achieve both personal goals and the goals of your organization. And at the same time, you reduce the time that you have to spend personally to jump in and achieve those team goals. So it frees up your time. It's the art of delegation, and you get everybody involved in that process. So everybody wins. I like one leader I listen to all the time says, he always starts with leaders and he says, get better, get better, get better. And everybody shouts back, get better, get better. And why does he say get better? Because he knows that when the leader gets better, everybody gets better. So we want to continue to emphasize that role. You can't abdicate your leadership role and expect to have a great organization. All right. One of the most effective strategies then for improving the productivity of people on your team is involving them in an appropriate degree. I know maybe you're a visionary and you see things, but you still have to find ways to involve people in setting the goals of your organization, the goals and objectives of your organization. And at the same time, you reduce the time that you have to personally carry the whole load, right? Always remember that communication is a two-way process. We just went over this in our module 1, effective personal productivity. Communication is a two-way process. As you communicate organizational goals, be sure to ask your team, give me your ideas, give me your feedback. What do you see needs to be done here? And incorporate that. Emphasize the positive aspects and the benefits of all those organizational and departmental goals. See, it's not just about the big goals, but it's also about the individual goals of each part of your organization. And then provide people with the opportunity to set those goals and increase the productivity and performance of their department. Okay, when they set their own goals, they'll be more motivated to achieve those goals. Obviously, there has to be a personal commitment on the behalf of the team to the overarching goals. But what you're doing is you are fostering dedication and loyalty to not just the individuals, but to the team as a whole when you involve them in the process. So make all your goals SMART goals. If you don't know what a SMART goal is, look it up. We don't have time to go down that trail today, but make sure that they're SMART goals. Then make sure that your team has a proven process to plug in with clear action steps. All right. So you have to have a organizational leadership development process in place. And then thirdly, and we're very excited about this, is there needs to be an awareness and implementation of a framework for peak collaboration and organizational health and energy. Now, what we use here as one of our resources is called the Working Genius. And the Working Genius is basically the science of how work gets done, how projects get done. And there's 6 working geniuses, and you can see them there on your screen: wonder, discernment, wonder, invention, discernment, galvanizing, enablement, and tenacity. It spells, happens to spell widget. But in essence, working genius is basically a framework. It's a model that enables leaders and companies to know what brings their team members joy and energy. And it helps to advise people how people are placed in the roles and tasks that align with their geniuses. The result is amazing. We've just seen such incredible results. Work-life satisfaction. You know, some people think about it's just all about work and so forth, but you know, they all kind of mesh together. There needs to be some work-life balance and satisfaction and increased productivity as each person, how about this word, thrives in their roles. They don't just function in their roles, but they're excited. They thrive in their roles. You know, here's something that you need to, this was a big revelation to me. You can train yourself into jobs and tasks. You can even be good at doing some of those things, but they don't bring you joy and energy. They actually drain you. So you can be good at something, but that is not your working genius. And so this kind of helps reorganize the whole process of work so people can thrive in the areas of their genius. Each person just takes a short assessment, engages in a debrief of their results, and then it's meant for the leader to integrate the language and the process within the culture of their organization. And it's one of the resources that we offer here at Langley Leadership Group. In fact, my wife is a certified working genius facilitator, and she kind of oversees and manages this part of Langley Leadership Group. But one of the benefits is how the working genius will serve to elevate and transform your meetings, right? Is everybody, you know, just think about this. Hey, we're calling a meeting. Oh, great. You know, everybody loves to run into more meetings, right? Not. So the working genius will help you transition from having just boring, unproductive meetings to running better meetings that foster alignment, drive outcomes, and keep your teams focused on what matters most, which is their goals and objectives that moves your organization forward. We've seen thousands of teams now, literally, have implemented the working genius to bring clarity and ownership and engagement to every aspect of their organizations. The idea, I was just reading doing some study here, doing some research, and the idea that workers will be more productive when they are happier makes just intuitive sense, but numerous studies are validating this as an absolute, unequivocal fact. Workers are more productive when they are happier. So, as a leader, you have to say, well, how do I figure out how to keep employees or team members, staff members happy? So I was doing some research here, and the best data I've seen comes from a company called Irrational Capital. They're a research and investment firm, but using public and proprietary data from many of America's biggest companies, they've found six specific factors behind employee happiness and satisfaction. I won't go into all of these, but they have to do with innovation and clarity and truthfulness. But and emotional connection is in there. All those things we cover in the Master of Executive Leadership degree program also. So just a side note there. But one of them they say is engagement, leadership that supports learning and growth. Leadership that supports learning and growth. So what can you do? Well, again, look for ways to support learning and develop your team members. Have a intentional built-in process for supporting the learning and development of your team members. Listen, here's a little hack, okay? This little side benefit here. The team members, the staff members, the employees that you want to keep on your team, they're the ones who they love to learn new skills and grow, okay? Anybody who feels like they don't want to learn anything new, they don't want to grow, they're probably, you know, setting themselves up for a disconnect, all right? So what you want to do is look for ways to encourage that growth. How can I invest in my people? How can I continue to give them what they need to support their passion for learning and growing? What could your team accomplish if everyone truly leveraged each other's strengths? Well, the sky's the limit. Listen, I love this. I saw this and I just wanted to put it up here for you here. A quote from Mother Teresa. I can do things you cannot. You can do things I cannot, but together we can do great things. I just think that's amazing because, see, in leadership, it's easy to focus on individual performance, but honestly, the real magic happens when we recognize and we value what each person brings to the table. And that's what the Working Genius will help you to do. When we work together, when we work and contribute in the area of our working geniuses and our unique abilities, the results are far greater and the impact far deeper than ever before. I've heard it said, if you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go long, if you want to go successful, if you want to go deep, go with your team. And that takes an intentional effort. All right. So just in conclusion, I just want to say you can increase the productivity, the performance, and yes, even the profit, or if you're a nonprofit organization, how about just the results, okay, in your organization, your business, your ministry, whatever it can be. You can create a healthy, thriving culture. You can achieve the most important goals for your life and your organization. And leaders, you're the bridge between a great vision and real execution. And when you're equipped to lead well, I'll say it again, everything changes. So you continue to grow and invest as a leader. That's really why we're so excited to bring these resources to people. We are seeing such tremendous results. I was just meeting with one of our leaders the other day. He lives in close proximity to me, and he just began to say how this has shifted the whole paradigm of his life. And he's not a new leader. He's been at the leadership game for quite a while. But introducing a framework that would set him up for success was a game changer. And so that energizes us. And we want to bring these things also to you. So, we're offering a personal assessment, a free discovery call, if you will. But here's the deal. You've got to fill out the form on the website. And then we will follow up with you, connect with you, and just have a conversation about what we can do to invest in your life, to partner with you. If you lead a business or an organization, how we can set your organization up for success, how we can help you create a healthy team culture. And here's what we want to do. We want to offer, if you enroll we have another cohort of the Master of Executive Leadership degree program starting up here in just a couple months. If you enroll, just because you took today's webinar, we will give you 10% off your initial enrollment if you just mention the code word webinar. That's the code word webinar. That tells us that you were on this webinar that we did, and we will give you a 10% discount if you enroll in the Master of Executive Leadership degree program. So be sure and sign up for email communication. There's a QR code there on your screen. You can scan that, go sign up. We have a lot of free resources that we want to offer, make you aware of special events. Promise we don't spam you. We don't just send out a bunch of frivolous, communication to stuff your email box or whatever. But we do want to stay connected with you, and we do want to grow our audience because we believe in you. We believe that oftentimes the resources we're offering are what you're not going to get through traditional education platforms, and they can
Monique,
make
what is your home address, please?
Huge difference in your life. So make sure that you sign up for those things. If you have any questions, feel free to send us an email, connect with us on social media, but we want to just do anything that we can to go overboard in helping set you up for success. All right. So with that, I'm going to stop sharing here for a minute. And I don't know if I can jump over to the chat, see if there's any questions that anybody has in the chat. We'll just take a quick minute here to see if there's anything else that we can add to. I think, there's so much information here. It's hard to cover everything in a 30-minute webinar, but hopefully we've given you some useful tools. You've got those three very strategic steps, the specific skills training and development for your industry, the awareness and the implementation of a development, a personal and an organizational leadership development program in your organization. And then just the awareness. If you can implement a framework for peak collaboration and organizational health and energy, something like the Working Genius, you'll see powerful results just come through for that. All right. Well, with that, we will put a caboose on this. I'll say thank you again for taking your time to be with us. We look forward to connecting with you more in the future. Reach out to us and check out the Master of Executive Leadership degree program. We'd love to have you join our next co-host. But for now, God bless, my friends, and we hope to hear from you soon. Bye now.